Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays, and I'm in the Preussen, a tier 10 German battleship. I'm on the map Trap in a 3-point domination game. It's, well, obviously a tier 10 battle. There are some tier 8s around. There's no carrier, and interestingly enough, there are only 2 destroyers. So I'm divisioned with friends here in Des Moines and Sommers. And well, we've spawned down here, so we went towards the Aetam. There are some reinforcements coming. Our team has more or less ignored B. But we do have a force at the C camp. We'll see how that turns out. So far, I'm, being a bit careful here. Slowly creeping forward. We know that the Nostroshim is inside this cap, so I should still be safely outside of its torpedo range. Which is why I haven't hydroed yet. Now the Preussen is the replacement for the Kurfürst, and it's basically more or less a Kurfürst with simply bigger guns. I mean, honestly, like Preussen and Kurfürst play, in my experience, pretty much the same. You have bigger guns, but you have less of them. You also have better reload. I do tend to get a lot of overpens with those guns. It feels like they have, I think, slightly better rear angles. The better guns come with better armor-piercing overmatch. And by the way, my division mate here is stuck towards that island and is trying, or has been trying now for a while, to get unstuck. Oh, the warships. Anyway. So yeah, basically, those guns are just, have the poor... Well, they have the sole purpose of making cruisers' lives poorer. Right, somebody just looked at cruisers in this game and were like, cruisers aren't screwed enough, so how can we make the experience for cruisers a lot worse? And I thought, like, you know what? Kurfürst is a pretty popular ship, but it can't really punish cruisers as badly as others, because it lacks the overmatch. So how about we take one of the most popular ships like the Kurfürst and make it so that it screws over cruisers even more. And that's how the Preussen was born. And yep. Anyway. So, you know, it's... I don't feel it's that different from a Kurfürst when playing it. It depends what you enjoy more with your guns. Having, like, smaller salvos makes you feel the bad accuracy a bit more, but you shoot more often, so in the end it all evens out. Meanwhile, I'm just pushing forward here into A, and I have to be a bit careful because I don't want to overcommit. The reason why I'm sort of pushing here is, you see, I have 3 cruisers here with me, and I don't want those cruisers to be the focus of the enemy fire. They don't really have great cover where they are at, and well, aside from the Brindisi, they don't actually have smoke. Now, the Kearsarge is a little bit too passive, Himmelfightist. He's currently using his planes. Honestly, I don't think you can get that much damage out of those planes. They are very great for scouting, but right now it would be a lot better. We would all be a lot better off if the Kearsarge would come slightly closer and use its guns. But anyway. Now I have to be careful because while I want to tank the enemy fleet, if I take too much damage, I will be forced to disengage, and that might happen. But for now, I'm just an enemy punching bag so that my cruisers can more easily do damage. I also can't push any further because of the North Carolina, the Heinrich in the center. So I gotta be a bit careful here.
Fire alarm!
We do seem to be doing okay in the north, but yeah, if like those ships from B push us, we end up in a crossfire quite easily. There is a cyclone coming though, which changes everything. Now I do have 2 fires on me. Could consider damage con here. But for now, I'm also deciding that it might just be time to slightly disengage. So I'm damage conning those 2 fires. I'm almost to a heal. I should be able to dodge those torps. My hydro is also running out, so it's about a good time for me to disengage. Once the hydro is gone, I'll be a lot easier to torp for the Nostroshimi. So I think I'm gonna dodge them all. And I'll soon be in some cover. Now, once the cyclone is starting, it will change the situation a lot anyway, because I'll have to be less worried about crossfires, and I'll have to decide how I wanna push this. Now, the Nostroshimi is doing a good job of keeping us from getting this cap, and unfortunately I can't push in and, for example, take care of the Des Moines. Like my division mate in the summers, he has to be careful with the Des Moines radar. If he tries to push in too far to spot the Nostroshimi, he might get caught in the radar range. That means he can't disappear in smoke and he might just get farmed. Well, speaking of the radar, there is one right now. So overall, we are one ship behind, but well, we are also behind quite a bit on points, I guess, because our camp is contested and the enemy basically had B for free the entire time. And we are still stalled here at A. Now, I didn't want to leave here entirely, so I'm still sticking around here while the Cyclone is getting in full force. And I'm just gonna shoot the poison some more. Now, once the Cyclone hits, we will see what happens. Like, I really would have liked to, for example, push the Des Moines, but the enemy battleships are doing a good job of keeping the Des Moines safe, right? Because I can't push into the Pommern and the Preussen, so I can't really do anything about the Des Moines. And while the Des Moines might not be doing too much pew-pewing, well, actually, it probably can shoot our Prince there. And, ooh, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna take a torp here. Well, it's fine. I'm currently healing, I'm still reasonably healthy. Still have 2 more heal charges afterwards. But the Cyclone is... Oh, and I have another Hydro ready, so I used the Hydro. Well, we only saw 1 torp salvo, so it would make sense that there is a second one on the way somewhere, unless it was so far off that we just didn't spot it. But yeah, here is the other torp salvo. Now, there is a North Carolina very close here behind us. The Brindisi is currently engaging that. I'm hoping the Brindisi is gonna be alright here. Now, cruisers in a Cyclone, well, depends a bit on the cruiser. Well, the Brindisi is not alright, by the way. Cruisers being forced into 8 kilometers can be a bit tricky. I mean, if you're like a radar cruiser, the advantage is, right, once you get spotted by destroyer, it's inside your radar range, so you can be pretty harsh to destroyers. On the other hand, like a Des Moines caught by a Brawling battleship within 8 kilometers is not gonna be fun for the Des Moines. Meanwhile, I just like Cyclones in my poison, obviously, because it lets me brawl. Now, speaking of brawling, I'm now gonna engage the North Carolina. Now, originally I wanted to come around here and help the Brindisi, but the Brindisi didn't survive very long. But the thing is, this North Carolina is caught out on, well, in our territory, sort of. And has no way to get help because of the Cyclone. It's not fast enough to get away from me. So I'm just gonna farm this North Carolina. Ideally, it's not gonna get help, I suppose, because, for example, I don't know where the Heinrich is, or where the Mogami is, or where the Johann de Witt is. Well, okay, we know where the Johann and the Mogami are. They're pushing our seaside. So it looks like a 4 versus 4 up in the north. I'm sincerely hoping that we can win this, but we'll find out. So there goes the North Carolina, and the Heinrich showed up exactly at the right time, basically when his teammate was lost, so I can continue my one-on-ones. Now, the Heinrich has torpedoes, but, you know, I still have Hydro going, and those are very slow torpedoes, so if I see them coming, I should be fine. Also, well, I mean, the Heinrich is... It's honestly getting really lucky, because the new German line can most certainly be citadeled. And my massive poison guns are more than capable of citadeling this Heinrich. They just refuse to do so. I can also overmatch his nose and his rear, so even if he starts angling, I could do massive damage to him. But, you know, I'm also getting a lot of overpens, so that's a shame. See, that's the thing between reality and theory, right? In theory, this Heinrich would have died a long time ago, but in reality, only now I get the citadel. But the good news is the Heinrich was taken out, and now I can come back into A. So, unfortunately, the enemy Preussen has used this to push. It looks like my team dealt with the Pommern, but the Preussen is still a formidable foe pushing in here. And now we will see how fast I can come back into help. Now in the north, this 4 versus 4 is now a 3 versus 2 in the enemy's favor. But still, you know, we'll still see how this turns out. Meanwhile, the Kearsarge is actually going to Cap B. Now on the one hand, this battleship would have been very important in stopping this enemy push. On the other hand, he does have planes, so he can, in the Cyclone, use those planes to be helpful while taking a camp, and points are a very big consideration. So, I finally arrived. I'm using my last heal here, and I'm gonna focus the Des Moines first, because the Des Moines is a lot squishier and easier to farm, and it does have a scary damage output. So we'll quickly deal with the Des Moines, and now comes the Poison. Now technically I was fully broadside to this Poison, but I think the Poison is still farming my Des Moines, so there is that. Now here's the Hindenburg. My Hydro is not ready yet, but it's almost ready. The Hindenburg is gonna try to torpedo me. I'm focusing on the Poison now in the hopes of saving my Des Moines. And unfortunately I'm too late, but I've got the Poison. So now to the road. My Hydro is running, at least I can see torps coming. My guns are pretty powerful here and can most certainly punish cruisers quite heavily, but that doesn't mean that they will. Anyway. Okay, well, I've got it. And I've unleashed the Kraken, which is lovely. Now, those are Nostroshimi torpedoes, and I'm gonna try to dodge those. I'm not sure. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I'm now getting cross-talked, right? So I'm not gonna be able to dodge this, I'm afraid. Will the Rhone torps run out? I'm afraid he was close enough. And yeah, he was close enough. So, still alive? Still alive. Technically, it's 5 against 2, so you'd think this is amazing, right? Now we have the Hindenburg and the Wooster. No, wait, the Hindenburg got taken out. Now we still have the Wooster. If the Wooster can kill that lion there, going to win. So the Nostroshimi is inside my Hydro. Well, he was briefly. Now he has a problem, right? He got torps off, and I can see those torps coming, but there is nothing I can do. I'm going as fast as back as I can. I'm turning, but see, my maneuverability just isn't good enough to dodge them. So all I can do is with one last salvo just blind shoot the smoke completely, and obviously don't hit anything. Now suddenly it's a 2 versus 2, and the problem is the enemy has a vast points lead and we are losing. Now let's see. As I've said in past replays, the camera is really problematic to use if you know that. But let's see what we can do here. So we have, also, by the way, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So we need to take care of the Nostroshimi and take this cap. We also need to defend B. And here is the Nostroshimi. So the Kearsarge is doing a good job of scouting with his planes while he is getting into a position to help Viper. So basically he can spot for Viper now. Viper can use the smoke screen, hopefully, to farm the Nostroshimi. And, well, once the smoke disperses or the planes are away, then Viper can do the spotting and the Kearsarge can do the shooting. So together they kind of have the destroyer corner. Now that's good news for us, but the problem is still the points, and there are only 3 minutes left, right? Because as you can see now, we might be getting this cap. But what about the enemy cruiser? So let's slowly head over towards the B cap with my camera. The Kearsarge has to go around this island and go back to B, and that's the flaw with this plan, right? Because the Kearsarge moved to A, we have nobody to defend B. Now this Kearsarge has been a little bit too passive this entire game for my liking, and he's been focusing a little bit too much on his planes. So he's using his planes to spot the Golden Lion and interrupt it. That's good news. The problem is the Golden Lion, by blocking the center, just wins. It's 1.5 minutes. Now at this point, I don't think he even needs to block anymore. He could just run away, so the Golden Lion might be making a misplay here, because we know it's still inside. If it just runs away and survives, the enemy wins. Now, if Viper is fast enough, he can spot it and then the Kearsarge can shoot it. We shall see how that works out. Viper can also shoot it, but it's only 40 seconds. Okay, here it is. And see, that's a shame. The Kearsarge has started its planes, right? Kearsarge could shoot it with guns, but it's not. It's controlling planes. All it needs is one hit with its guns, and the planes won't even arrive in time, so that was not the best decision there on the Kearsarge. Well, and so we lost the game, which is a true shame, honestly. You know, I think the Kearsarge, I can't blame him for trying to help Viper there in the end, because he did really well with cutting off the destroyer and sinking that. Of course, that left the B cap open. He might have been able to just support with the planes while he was trying to defend. Would have worked out better in the end, but he really should have used his guns there instead of using the planes once Viper was spotting. He could have just immediately recalled the planes and just shot his guns. One hit would have been enough. There's no guarantee that he would have hit, but still. Anyway, I had a pretty good game otherwise. So there is that. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I'll see you next time.